How's it going, y'all? I know my voice has been a little jacked up lately, but that's not why I'm whispering. Tonight, we're having a little surprise. I don't want to spill the proverbial beans by letting it out what it is, but we're trying to make chicken pot pie from scratch in our air fryer. So after this, I'll be able to talk normally, but I just didn't want to let the secret out. So we're going to go through this recipe I found, take our best crack at doing this, and see how it works out. I love chicken pot pie. We're going to see how it works in the air fryer. Come along and join us. So the recipe initially calls for enough items to cook 2 chicken pot pies, but there's 3 of us, so I'm going to double the recipe and we're going to make 4, and one of us is going to have to suffer through eating 2 of them. I'm not sure who it's going to be. First thing we're going to do is cut up an onion, and then we're going to saute that. Now I've got the recipe printed out here, so we're going to go through it step by step. Alright, so the first thing the recipe calls for is 1/2 cup of diced onions. Chopped onions, diced onions, onions. So what we're working on right now is making the innards of the pies. Once the innards are ready, we'll be able to make the crust and put everything together. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to melt 4 tablespoons of butter in this pot, and then we're going to saute the onions. Alright, so I cut up the chicken, and I got the mixed vegetable frozen medley. I got it de-thawing, so we're going to go ahead and start this part. Hopefully the vegetables will be thawed by the time we get here. But I did get a pre-cooked chicken breast that was already sliced. I just had to cube it up really quickly. And I'm trying to, figure out a way to make something that's really good and nice, but yet make it easy as well. So, there's a little bit of shortcuts taken here and there, but it's okay, really. So that's an awful lot of butter. I suppose if you need to use something that is not so much butter, you could use some kind of oil or whatever. I'm following the recipe, plus I like butter, so. Alright, let's go ahead and add the onions. And we'll saute these until they're soft. Then we'll add in the milk and the chicken broth, and then slowly whisk in the flour until it gets creamy. I want to get these onions good and tender, so we're going to let them just saute a little bit extra long. Alright, let's go ahead and add in the broth and the milk, and then we'll start whisking in the flour. In the milk. And we'll start whisking. Alright, pretty lump free, so I think we're in good shape there. So we're just going to continue to stir this until it starts to thicken, and then we will add in our chicken. That rhymes. I think this is going to make it a little bit more than 4, but guess what? I got lots of pie trays. We can make lots of these. We can freeze some leftovers and make some at some future point. I think it'll be fine. Okay, it is definitely thickening, so let's go ahead and put in the chicken and the vegetables. I didn't actually measure the vegetables, I just poured in an amount that seemed to be appropriate for what we were trying to make. Get a good mix. Don't want to overdo it, don't want to underdo it. So that looks like it's perfect. I'm going to stop using the whisk because I don't want all the parts to get all caught up in the tines, so we're going to switch over to a spoon. So far it looks pretty amazing. So once this gets heated up, then we start preparing the crusts. And what I got was these 5.5-inch pie plates, deep pie plates. Now, 2 of these will barely fit within the bottom of my air fryer. So what we're going to do first is we're going to put pie crust in the bottom and then let that cook for a little bit. Then we'll fill it. We'll add another pie crust on top, put a little egg wash on top, and then we'll cook it for the rest of the time. So that's coming up next. Hopefully nobody's in too bad trouble. Alright, so I think while this is reducing down, I'm going to go ahead and cook the bottoms. We put them in the air fryer for 7 minutes at 365 degrees. Now, one of the things it does say is to pin pricks into the crust so that the crust doesn't bubble up while it's cooking. So we're going to do that right now, and then we will put it in. Now, since we've never made this before, we're going to kind of keep an eye on the crust because we're just not really sure, what kind of air fryer they were using or anything like that. So I just don't want to have a catastrophe because I don't have any extra pie crust to go around today. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop these. They look really nice and golden brown. I don't want to go any farther with them, so we're going to go ahead and set these aside. I'm going to make 2 more, and then we'll be ready to fill them. Alright, second pair of bowls in. So I did have to add a couple of little additional mixtures of some cornstarch and water because I didn't like the way this was thickening up or wasn't thickening up, and I did want a specific consistency to it, so just added a little bit of that to get it to form up a little bit. So as soon as these other ones are done, these other pie bottoms are done, we're going to be ready to go ahead and toss these in and see how they turn out. I'm so excited and I'm starving. Look how the first bottom one turned out. Doesn't that look amazing? Okay, I'm really liking the way this is thickening up now. Alright, now for the final step, we're going to ladle some. This one pulled away a little bit, so we'll have to work with that. But we're going to ladle the chicken, the pot pie mixture into the crust. We're going to lay another crust on top and pinch it, sealed around the top. We're going to cut some holes. There may be some overlap from pieces because, they were initially standard pie crust size, so we had to manipulate it a little bit, but we're going to put the pie crust on, we're going to cut some holes in it, then we're going to put it in. A little bit of egg wash on top to make it pretty. And we'll put it in, cook it for 10 more minutes or so. We'll keep an eye on it. And that'll be it, and it'll be done. I can't wait. Two ladles seems right. All right, let's get tops on them. Get them in. Just gonna poke a couple holes. There's one. Here's number 2. smells so good. Done. That took about 6 minutes rather than the 10. I'm gonna let it cool for just a minute before taking them out.
Yes, sir.
And then I'm gonna put them on a plate and then I'll show them to you. What do you think of that, huh? All right, Dolly, open your eyes.
It looks good.
What do you think it is? Take a whiff.
It's a pot pie of some kind. I can't tell.
It's a chicken pot pie
Oh, chicken pot pie.
from
Wow.
almost scratch
Wonderful.
in the
Air fryer.
air fryer.
Huh.
Okay, you're not going to be able to eat it right this second because it's going to be too hot.
It's hot.
So far good.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Good? How's the crust?
Perfect. Super delicious. This is just the right amount of like creamy, salty goodness.
It's definitely a good comfort food.
It is.
You like it?
I do.
It's a winner. Yeah, big winner. Big winner.
This is definitely a key.
So there you have it. Chicken pot pie in the air fryer. Apparently it's a winner. I'm going to go finish making mine so I can eat too. In the meantime, we'll see y'all later.